Take your fun full throttle with a single touch. There are places to fly high, swing low, or make the old bell ring. Your targets are in sight. Better your game by playing ball of almost every variety. Need to catch your breath? There's a place for that too. Countless ways to play beyond the swing sets. Breck, we're more than a playground.
Hi, gang. Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
As we start another week of the Roger Cador Show, Clarence Buggs along with the coach. Sound like your sinuses are bothering you too, man.
Man, I feel bad today, but we're going to try to make it through it.
Are you a soldier? You're a soldier.
Well, Marty is here. What else can I
do? And you got to know Marty for that to really sink in. Let's start today's show, Coach, with LSU basketball losing their third straight game after another slow start at Vanderbilt.
I knew you were going to mention that stuff. They're going to lose a few more games, Clarence.
Yeah.
It ain't over with.
No.
I mean, they just don't have that talent group of kids that's going to get them over the hump. Mm-hmm. Now, they'll do well and play well and beat some teams, but I just don't see them being able to get over the hump in that tough SEC.
Losing 6 out of the last 7 after starting 15-1. That's a troubling trend, even when you understand the 2 starting point guards have gone down with injuries.
Yeah, and this is where it all starts. See, to be successful in basketball, you need point guards that can play.
That's the quarterback of the court.
That's the quarterback, and when you lose that, now he's trying to fit somebody in that can do the job. And Coach Wade is, he's pulling his hair out, poor thing. But that happens.
Yeah.
Because I think Kentucky might have lost their point guard also.
We were talking earlier before we started the show today, and you mentioned the fact that in collegiate basketball, it's almost an ongoing, always in process recruiting situation because the young men leave so early. At what point does the NC2A need to address this, if any?
Yeah, I don't know if they could do anything about it. They gave him a chance for a kid to come there one year when they wouldn't let him sign out of high school anymore.
Right.
Now, even though some of the kids in high school went to the D League or C League or whatever league,
right,
a couple of them did go there and didn't even go to college. I like the college experience.
Right.
I love it because I think it buys the kids a little time to be around people their age.
And give them time also to mature along with kids their age.
Yeah, physically and mentally.
And
I think that it's always a good thing. the one thing you hate doing is throwing a boy to play against men.
Yeah.
And that's what the NBA is.
Oh, yeah.
You got those men. Can you imagine you having to LeBron James is coming in there, you got to stand in front of him. Take the charge.
Right. Take the what? Yeah, but unfortunately, that's what the industry has become.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, how much of a disservice do we do to these young men?
Well, I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about it being a disservice. What is a disservice is that normally those kids who are in that position to leave and go play pro ball,
right,
or at a disadvantage financially.
True.
They are really dire straight. Mm-hmm. So this is a way out for him and his family.
Yeah.
And
who are we to tell this kid,
don't do it for your family?
Don't do it for your family.
Yeah, and you know, so that's the problem why I said I may not be the person who is
most qualified
to say, because you put me. Maybe if I was in that situation, I would have had to look at the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I came out of that situation.
Correct.
I came out of that situation.
Correct.
And you look at an opportunity to elevate yourself.
And you're talking elevating on a generational level.
There you go, generational level.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I look at it from that angle. But when you look at 90% of the kids, they probably are better off.
Right.
Go and get that college experience. Stay 2 and 3 years. I really think it really is good for them.
Yeah. And it puts you that much closer to obtaining that degree that you may have to fall back on at any given second.
Well, 75% of them will.
Yeah.
Again, we're giving 25%, maybe never need that degree.
Right.
But 75% of them are going to need that degree.
Yeah.
They're going to have that job. They're going to have to go work and make it happen.
And that's where, in many cases, does it not, teaching young men life lessons is the most valuable.
Life lesson is, the Bible talk about what is more important. Gold or corliss or silver, or knowledge. Now, I would
wisdom.
Wisdom is like knowledge.
Yeah.
You know.
You can have all the knowledge, but if you don't have wisdom to go with it.
Yeah. Well, they say that wisdom is better than all of the rest. If you got that, so that's what I think that those kids are going to like wisdom. Kobe Bryant is going to be, and Kevin Durant.
Spit it out.
They're the exception.
Yeah.
They're more the exception than the rule.
Without a doubt.
That's why you don't have, McGrady was also the same thing. You just don't have that many guys who left high school and that played in the NBA at a young age. And if you look at how well-grounded Kobe parents were well-grounded.
Right.
Kevin Durant that was well-grounded because of his mother. And McGrady, the guy said, was a shot in the dark to make it because he came out of a bad situation. But he's invested well. And he's done quite well.
In that Vanderbilt game, that 6th loss in the last 7 games, 16 turnovers didn't help your cause any.
Just like if you cut them in half.
Yep.
To 8, that means you got a chance to score
anywhere from 16 to 24 points.
That's how you look at it.
Yeah.
And from the coaching standpoint, when we talk to our kids, we talk about what mistake cost us with the possibilities.
Right.
And you have to sell them and teach them. If you can eliminate mistakes, what the possibilities are.
Yeah, that's wisdom, my friend. That give them the knowledge, and hopefully it translates into wisdom.
Wisdom is the word of the day.
Oh, yeah. The pressure of falling behind by 20 in a game like basketball with the three-point line, there's that tendency to jack them up, all in an effort to catch up. But unfortunately, you're 3 of 14 from three-point land, and in many cases, the three-point shot can be a detriment as well as a vehicle to allow you to catch up, correct?
I agree with you, and that's the inexperience. And what young people look at, they say, I got to shoot the three.
Right.
Well, when you could drive to the basket, make the basket, and get a foul, and still
get 3.
See, and then you're doing more benefit
Right.
to your team and harming your opponent because you're giving them foul, putting them in foul trouble, and normally it's going to be a big man around the basket. And so that's how you got to start looking at it.
Yeah.
Jacking up threes every time is not going to be the answer.
I've noticed, and I don't know what to attribute it to, a lack of focus, lack of experience with the individuals running the team on the floor at any given moment. But usually, the strong suit of this year's team has been their defense.
Yes.
Been a great defensive team. But they allowed Vanderbilt to shoot 42% from the three-point line. You can't win games like that, Coach.
Yeah, but it's harder to defend the three than anything because you got to protect that you don't give them the easy basket.
Right.
So most teams going to have a shot at your three because you're defending.
Unless, of course, you're not proficient in your transition defense.
Exactly. That's another way you could look at it. And they're getting a lot of open three shots without any, what you call it, you want to, when you get out there, you want to make contests. They're not contesting.
Right.
So we'll see how it works out. What is Wade's strong suit is he teaches his team to play good defense. And I think when he's trying so many different combinations,
it's hard to get that continuity.
Yes.
Yeah. Once ranked as high as number 12 in the country, now completely out of the top 25. Understanding what the situation is with injuries, lack of experience, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Is that the best thing that could happen to him? Get that pressure of living up to whatever your ranking is and just do what you came to LSU to do.
Yeah, but you want to do what you came there to do, but also try to exceed a little. You want to exceed a little above what your expectations are.
Right.
And I think that's where success kicks in, when you can exceed that.
It's one thing for two old guys to sit on the set and talk about this kind of stuff, but are we preparing our young people enough for that transition, or are we doing like we see it done in our society in so many areas? We're depending on somebody else, the teachers to do it, law enforcement to do it, judicial system to do it, when these are the things we need to do ourselves before we send them to that next level.
Well, we want to do it. We all fall short in doing it, Clarence, because of what this society has turned into.
Right.
Parents have to work extremely long hours, mom and dad.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, there were people in the community that could police us and help out. But now that doesn't exist.
Right.
You don't know who your next door neighbor is.
And that's sad.
And it's sad because, that's what the world is.
Yeah.
So we really need everybody else to chip in a little. The people who are the next most important people after family is the teachers.
Yeah.
And we have done a poor job of paying them so we could get the qualified people so we could teach our kids. You need quality people there to be there for our kids.
You are talking about a group of people that spend, at least for 12 years, for many 16 or more years, they spend a full third of our children's lives with them. How have we managed to lose sight of the fact of how important these people are?
It's damn politicians. Excuse me. Damn politicians.
Say it like you mean it.
Oh, really? I can't on this show? You politicians out there who have done this.
Yeah.
You all have found a way not to pay teachers and get more qualified people to teach your own kids.
Nah.
And you think you could send them to private school and they're going to do it? You're fooling yourself. They ain't qualified there either.
Now, how much of that do we say the politicians did it? And how much of that do we say we allowed the politicians to do it?
You found a way, huh?
It's my job, Coach.
Okay.
That's my job.
Yeah, I got it. I forgot you
I
just
do
doing
my
your job.
Just doing my job.
Obviously, we have allowed them because we can mandate what they should do. We are taxpayers. We put them in office. We should mandate.
It's our money and our kids.
I can't understand that. Why we allow? We at a point now, and now you let the genie out of the bottle, and you can't get it back in.
Stuff that cork back in there. It's just not gonna stay. It's kind of like, why is the sky blue?
Why is the sky? It's blue today too.
Yes, it is. Beautiful blue. Tell you what, we need to get our first break out of the way. Marty's sitting over there looking at me like this. That means we're late. We'll get this out of the way, come back and talk more right where you've got it on today's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock, conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back. You didn't think I could do that without looking up, to this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Let's shift gears, Coach, and go across town. Southern announcing their 2022 football schedule, and this time around in Mumford Stadium, we get 5 home games. We've been needing that for a while, Coach.
Yeah, I remember back in the good days, we used to get 6. But you know what? It's good that we get in 5. And that'll help the fans who don't go on the road.
Right.
You know, there are fans who don't travel, and they want to be able to come to the stadium.
2 games in particular, well, actually 3 stand out on the schedule. 2 of them, however, because of a lack of notoriety for the opponent. Florida Memorial will open the season on September 3rd, and also Virginia Lynchburg will be here October 22nd for homecoming. Know much about any of these 2 schools?
I know nothing about them. Obviously, I've heard of Florida Memorial, but Virginia Lynchburg. First time hearing about them. Now, I played baseball back in 1974 in Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Really?
They had a minor league team there. So,
So,
you know, it's a beautiful little town up there in the mountains in Tennessee. I mean, is it Virginia or Tennessee? Virginia.
Well, all it says on my schedule is Virginia Lynchburg.
Yeah, Virginia. Yeah, Lynchburg, Virginia. That's it. They want to make.
You just want to make a move to Tennessee for some reason.
Yeah, right. But no, it was. You know, so this is a good experience to play an opponent you never heard anything about.
Yeah.
Be wary of a name like that. You can be they can catch you off guard.
That's right.
The reason being, there are players on the East Coast they don't have as many D1 schools up there.
Right.
So they could end up doing what Liberty University has done.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have kids that are.
Uh-huh.
See, the majority of our population is on the East Coast.
Right.
People don't know that.
Uh-huh.
So there ain't enough places they can go.
Right.
To the big schools.
Right. And of course, with the transfer portal nowadays, it makes for interesting rosters all across the country. Obviously, the big boy on the schedule is September 10th at Tiger Stadium. That's going to be historic, Coach.
The band, you go and see the band, huh?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
The band, listen, everybody's waiting to see the band.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it
yeah.
ought to be. You know what? An LSU director is a Southern man. Am I correct? I think he's a
that's
Southern
a good
man.
question. I need to
think
find
he's
that
a
out.
Southern man. That ought to be a show.
Oh, yeah.
That
The
ought
Golden
to be
Band
a-
from Tigerland and
Oh,
the Human
they ought
Jukebox
to
in
give
one
him,
venue.
I only wish they give him an extra 15 minutes
Uh-huh.
just for the fan, because we shouldn't expect much more other than that, the fireworks.
Right.
But, Southern is playing LSU. I just hope they don't get anyone hurt.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
let's face it, Coach Kelly is, he's trying to get ready for his season.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's no need to. I'm sure that they're going to show mercy, but I don't want fans to think something miraculous is going to happen.
Right,
We are
right.
not there yet.
No. Oh, of course not.
We're not there yet.
Of course
and,
not.
And it's a money game.
Uh-huh.
It's a money game. So
Yeah. What do you think this game could mean for our city?
I don't know.
And here's why I ask. When it was first announced that Southern would play LSU in Tiger Stadium, it was around a time where there's a lot of division among the races and the whole nine. And I looked at it as being a marvelous opportunity. And maybe some others have thought about this, and the logistics of it was just too much to overcome. But I would like to see Golden Band from Tigerland and the Human Jukebox maybe that Friday come together in Tiger Stadium for a unity concert. Historically black college, traditionally white college. Get them together. Everybody loves their bands. $10 a ticket. Put 50,000 people in Tiger Stadium and raise $500,000.
They'll put more than 50.
Or they'll put, yeah, I'm being conservative.
Yeah, let me tell you, this is why I think the game is important. Well, this is why I think these two schools playing each other, because the band is the key out here.
That's the attraction.
That's the attraction.
Yeah.
It's because we have to be realistic about the game itself.
Yeah.
It's the have against the have not.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Or David against Goliath.
Uh-huh.
Even though David won against Goliath.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Right.
but we have to be realistic. And I've said that because I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
I've been there.
If anybody's been there, you've been there.
I've been there when we had to play them.
Uh-huh.
But baseball is such a different sport.
Yeah.
It gave us a chance to be competitive.
Uh-huh.
Even though they beat us many times.
Right.
We were always knocking on the door.
Uh-huh.
And it was something that was always that hope. And we were able to get them twice when I played. And then Coach
Right.
Jackson beat them in his first year as the baseball coach at Southern.
Right.
I think, or the second year.
Uh-huh.
So the opportunity is there.
Right.
For the community to come together, but music has a way of doing more.
It's the universal language.
It's a I think that is going to be the one thing that is going to help the city.
Yeah.
It's going to have a soothing effect.
I would have liked to have seen, say on that Friday or whenever, tailgating with the two fan bases. Come together, break some bread, talk with one another instead of at and to each other. Talk with one another and find out, you know what? What I was told all these years is not
Ain't
true
true.
about them people. You know,
They're gonna
you could issue a challenge.
Yes.
If you're an LSU fan, born and raised Louisiana, you don't have one thing in your closet with Southern University on it. If you're a Jaguar fan, born and bred in Louisiana, you don't have one thing in your closet with LSU on it. Here's the challenge for this big tailgate that we're going to do before the two bands come and give us a concert. You go and buy something. Cap, t-shirt, jacket, whatever. If you're an LSU fan, buy something with Southern on it to wear to this event. If you're a Jaguar fan, buy something with LSU on it to wear to this event. Now it's bigger than just a football game. It's a community thing, and you're generating tons of revenue for the local economy at the same time.
I agree with you, sir. You know, we had the opportunity way back in 2012, 13, and Paul Maneri and I both agreed. We played at LSU in MLB. They wanted Southern band and LSU band to play. The guy who was the band director at LSU wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. He would not do it. He denied the kids an opportunity to compete.
Wow.
And I think that is such a sad situation.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't going to cost any money.
Right.
It wasn't going to be the full band.
Right.
You know, but
Right.
they wanted this MLB, Major League Baseball just wanted that to happen. See, MLB, Southern and USC band played in California. That's
Right.
what they wanted to replicate in Baton Rouge.
Right.
Yeah, I must have said though, you know, in California they're known for earthquakes.
Right.
Boy, when those two bands played, the ground shook.
Yeah.
In Southern California that night.
Right.
Oh, did this
Right.
ground shake? I said, we're having an earthquake here. It was so much energy in the air.
Yeah.
And it was one of the best things. You know, the guy for MLB said, we could never do this again. Well, we got a chance to do it in Baton Rouge.
And it's right here at our home.
And the guy wouldn't do it. He found all kind of excuse. But Paul Maneri and I both agreed it would have been great to have. You know, but they couldn't convince them.
I remember.
Maybe that's why he ain't there now. I would
Possibly.
shake his hand. No. Really?
I distinctly remember, Coach, never being more proud of my city than on the day of the Parade of Champions, when LSU won the national championship, Southern won the National Black College Championship, and there was a parade downtown. And at the end of the parade, on the steps of the Capitol, on one side was the Golden Band from Tigerland, on the other side was the Human Jukebox, and I'll be the first to admit, I was never more proud of my city that we had come that far. I just hate that while the historic nature of the game is what it is, it seems like we are falling way short on what we could do with something like this.
Well,
now, maybe it's because we've never done it before.
Right. And again, you got the psychological barrier.
Yeah.
If you've never done it before, it's a psychological block there.
Right.
And that guy who was the director, he delayed something that is going to now happen.
Yeah.
Could have happened several
Long time
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
9 years ago. Could have happened.
And think how much further along
There
we
you
would
go.
be.
Well, so that's why you want the right people in the right places who make decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can either make things go forward. You can't stop it.
No.
You can only delay it. You're not going to stop it.
And at what cost?
It was no cost.
No, I mean, at what cost are you hurting the public by delaying it?
Well, you hurt the public, you hurt the city, you hurt your community.
Yep.
You just stymied them from being able to. Kids are kids. They love each other.
Oh yeah.
And they love to put. This would be fun for them. You know.
And not to mention all the wounds that could be healed
Yeah.
under circumstances
Yeah. Oh.
like this.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, if and when this ever happens again, the powers that be will understand full well what a drawing card you have with the human jukebox and the golden band from Tigerland. Bring them together before the game. Let's tailgate with the two fan bases, buy each other's merchandise, talk with one another. And
Propose it, Clarence. Why don't you make that proposal?
Well, I get the feeling after some people see this show, they just might make this thing happen.
Well, it ought to happen.
It's just such a marvelous opportunity, but you got to be willing to think outside of the box.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to talk to a couple of people and see if they would have an interest in doing it.
Uh-huh.
You know, I know there are a lot of logistics.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's not that you can just do it.
But it's
There are
it's not like nobody's ever done it before.
Well, yeah, it's logistics that you got to work out.
Yeah.
Because when
me
you
tell
got
you
a
something.
big time operation like LSU,
Right.
it's easier to do it with Southern than someone.
Right.
But when you talk about LSU, there are logistics involved.
Oh, of course. But my gut tells me, from my life experiences, with the amount of money that's there to be made, if they want it, they'll figure out the logistics. Just saying.
They
Just
figure it
saying.
out for the Battle of Bayonne at the Bayou Classic, and they make a ton of money. So
And that's in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome,
Yeah.
or the, what is it now? It's no longer Mercedes-Benz.
Caesar.
Caesars. Yeah, we're all Caesars.
Ooh, Marty.
Quick break. That includes Marty,
He's going
too.
over time again, Marty. Get him off. Make him take a break.
He knows I'm going to get it on the back end. Not a big deal. Quick break, and we continue with this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
I'm helping you, Marty.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient. They're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport.
Have a passion? We've got the place. Gear up for where the rubber meets the mud, or stir up memories of a lifetime. Reach new heights. Gravitate towards something out of this world. Even travel back in time. You might like a little drama in your life, or get in touch with your inner nature lover. Release some pent-up energy while you're at it. There's plenty to do beyond the swing sets. BRAC, we're more than a playground.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Coach, let's talk a little bit of baseball. We all kind of knew with the recent Hall of Fame balloting and all of the concern, hoopla, uproar over PEDs, we kind of knew that there were some folks that probably were not going to get in because of perception, failed test, et cetera, et cetera. Two of the biggest names for baseball fans Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, denied entry. No big surprise there, is it?
No big surprise. I thought that sympathy would well, no, I'm not going to even say sympathy, but you start looking at a clock. When did someone allegedly start it?
Right.
Because they don't know when.
Right. No.
But they allege they know.
Right.
Barry Bonds was already a Hall of Famer. They all said it. They all said he was a Hall of Famer prior to that. So why not let him in if he was? But I understand. You listen. There are some things you don't want going forward because it affect young kids. You don't want young kids taking steroid or PD, performance enhancement drug.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the message. But damn it, if it is, say it.
Yeah.
We're doing it because we don't want our kids to be influenced that they need to take this stuff to make themselves better.
And in the spirit of fair play,
yes,
we don't want kids doing this because there's the obvious physical danger to your body.
Yes.
But also the people that train extra hard and don't use PEDs, it's not fair to them.
It's not fair. That's right. So why couldn't we just make sure we talk more about that?
Yeah.
And I think the message could get louder and clearer, sending it to our young people.
Can you make the argument that they did speak loudly and clearly when Manny Ramirez and A-Rod, arguably one of the most popular MLB players in recent memory, didn't make it either? Can you make the argument that they did speak loud and clearly?
But we know some who took it and made it.
True.
You got to look at it. They know that Piazza took it. They know Jeff Bagwell took it.
Right.
I mean, they know it.
Yeah.
And they let him in. And I just players are not happy about it. But I got to give most of the players credit. They're not badgering Bagwell and Piazza. They just mentioned that they know the people, voters knew that they were on it, and they voted them in. You got me? And so, but I look at, and I don't want to make it an issue about race, but all of the people except Clemens, and they said, we got one white guy who is a big-time player, and they legitimize what we're doing. I hate that.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to penalize Clemens? Because he didn't talk much either.
We are rapidly approaching the point of no return with spring training. Have your sources told you anything regarding a potential strike?
They thought they were making progress. But the owners used strategy. They didn't come back to the table until January.
Right.
They let December. They wait 32 days before they started negotiating again.
Right.
That's a lot of time to waste when you got a short window.
Yeah.
The owners intend to break them down to get, they have agreed in principle to a couple of small items.
Right.
They are going to raise the beginning salary for first-year players. They are not going to mess with the years of free agency. You can go free agency and arbitration ready. They're not messing with that. But the luxury tax,
that's the big ticket item.
And the owners want to do something with free agency at a $10 million, and the players want $110 million.
Right.
I mean, so that's where the big issue is, where that money is. So they got to find a way to work that in. And I think owners got to come up to about 75. I think if they come there, the players will take it and run.
March 31st is slated to be opening day. With where we are now, and recently the MLB Players Association rejecting a federal mediator to come in and try to make all of this work. Where we are now and the rejection of a federal mediator, Has that pretty much killed that March 31st opening day?
Well, it's killed next week, which would have been where the pitchers and catchers
report.
Yeah. So you probably killed that, and that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you why it's dangerous. It's dangerous because pitchers need the extra work.
Oh, yeah.
And you start shortening the time, you're going to have a lot of injuries. So you can't afford to do that. So they need to hurry and do something.
Yeah.
Or we're going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to make the fans angry.
Right.
Because they've done everything they could to support.
That was going to be the next question. How do you think the average baseball fan would view the players going on strike?
They won't view it very well.
Mm-hmm. Regardless if the players are right or wrong.
Right. And listen, and my source tells me the same thing. They are concerned about the reaction of the fans, how they're going to look at it, because they have to shell out a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the fans, it's a lot of money involved. So.
And even something like spring training, particularly in Florida, where you have Sarasota, Bradenton, Plant City, Tampa, St. Pete, and that's just on the west coast of Florida. You're talking a lot of money that could go by the wayside.
Well, same thing in Arizona.
Yeah,
where the half of the other
League.
teams are.
Uh-huh.
It affects those communities also. That depends.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
On spring training to survive.
Uh-huh.
And, we got to be careful.
Who do you think should be most concerned about how the fans would view a potential strike? The owners or the players?
Well, both should be concerned.
Equally,
because one affects the other. If the owners doesn't make money, they can't pay. They can't pay the players.
Yeah.
So it's an equal. This is why they got to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody have to lose and win. Somebody gonna have to bid on this.
Yeah.
And all I say is that they're making enough money. Mm-hmm. Why not just give a little?
Or just do the right thing.
Well, yeah. But I know what has happened. For so many years, the owners took advantage of players.
Right.
They took advantage of them.
Uh-huh.
They did the players wrong.
Yeah.
They lied to them.
And
now they're squeezing you.
Yeah.
They got you by the neck and they're squeezing you. And I say squeeze the owner just a little longer.
You got to think of all the people that would be inconvenienced, suffer a loss of revenue, emotional investment, what have you, with them missing, if it turns out to be the case, start of the season, possible delay in spring training. It's the players from Latin America that probably get stuck more so than many others because they got to make living arrangements over here. I mean, you don't know when spring training is going to start, when we're going to have to report. I got to find a place to live. I got to put down a deposit. I got to do this, do that, the other. It's not just the players from here, but when you look at the percentage of players from Latin American countries, it kind of throws a bit of a curveball, pardon the pun, for them too.
I think 38% of the players in the big leagues are from Latin America.
Wow, is that high now?
That's high. It's a high number.
Wow.
And so you're correct, Clarence, in your assessment that they're not only that, they got families.
Well, yeah.
They have families. Now, should I bring them all or let them stay in school there?
Right.
Pull them out of school and come to school here?
Uh-huh.
There's so many things that normally we don't even talk about, and I'm glad you brought it up because you got wives and kids.
Yeah.
That has to be, you got to play for them.
If you could sit down behind closed doors with all of the respective owners and the head of the MLBPA, what would you say to them?
I would say, don't strike. I would say, find a way to continue in negotiating during the course of the year. I know if you do it that way, the owners are not going to give in because they'll make money and they'll say, hell no.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But at some point, y'all got to come to some kind of agreement.
Well, yeah.
You're going to have to do it. Listen, yes, the owner's been wrong for so many years. They're making more money than they're telling you all they're making.
Right.
And the players are making good salary. We may have to take a 10% bite from the top players, but we're bringing the lower tier players up.
Which is really what you were asking for anyway.
Because the top players going to get the money.
Oh, yeah.
So, but let's continue. You're doing a really good job of lifting the bottom floor people.
Right.
The ones that keeping the game going to a large extent.
To a large extent, yeah.
Yeah. So, so let's find that they've pretty much worked out everything else. And then there's a couple of issues. That's it.
And at the end of the day, the average guy or girl that looks forward to the slow, relaxed, leisurely pace of the game played by the best talent on the planet, they've been dealing with COVID.
Yeah.
They've been dealing with inflation. They've been dealing with increases in crime and less safety in the communities. Many of the casual fans are at a point right now, they're not going to take too kindly to multimillionaires going on strike and not allowing them 2-3 hours of leisure time while they're dealing with all this other crazy stuff in the world. I hope they take the time to think about that, Coach, before they alienate the fans, because that's not going to be a good thing.
Let me tell you one thing you need to understand about negotiation. You got athlete negotiating also, the players.
Right.
Athletes are competitive.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like to lose. And owners,
especially at that level.
And owners are accustomed to winning.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
Yeah.
Accustomed to winning against people who don't like to lose.
Right.
You got yourself something there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful situation because most people don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
But that's what you got.
Yeah. And taking into consideration what you stand to lose, support from the fans that without whom owners don't make any money, players don't make any money. There's too much at stake for you to mess this up, Coach.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that owners bought some insurance now. They're too smart. They're billionaires.
How do you think they got to be that way?
They were smart, or somebody gave it to them.
Yeah,
but they
still got to hold on to it though.
They probably protected their investment by buying an insurance just in case.
I know I would have.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
That's something that hadn't been discussed, but it needs to, because that's why the owners could play hardball.
Final break of today's show. We'll get this done, come back and talk more on this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946. Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the final segment of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. We would be certainly remiss in our duties, Coach, if we didn't take a second and acknowledge the newest member of the sponsorship family, the great folks over at 2323 Florida Boulevard. You know them as Powerhouse Outdoors. Whether you are looking for a new or used motorcycle, or pre-owned as they call them these days, side-by-side, personal watercraft, you name it, they've got it. All the big boy and girl toys that you could ever imagine. 25,000 square foot facility, which means if they don't have what you want, they can get what you want. And if they can't get it, you probably don't need it. Just saying, just saying. And of course, with you guys and girls being Louisiana folks, you understand full well how important service after the sale happens to be. I mean, what good is having that great product if you struggle to get service for that great product? That will be the last thing that you have to worry about. As I say all the time, if Marty has enough faith in them to let him work on his girlfriend, his Harley Davidson, you can do the same as well. All we ask is that you do us a big favor and let them know that you heard about them right here on the Roger Cador Show. Coach, media reporting this morning that the Saints have decided to hire from within defensive coordinator Dennis Allen, the new head coach, to replace Sean Payton. Good move?
Good move. They even mentioned that when Sean left, that they might stay within.
He endorsed
Right,
Dennis.
right. And so it's not a complete surprise to us that, and you want to try. See, he already know all of the players.
Yeah.
And I think
with 25 years in the league, you know the ropes.
You know the rope, yeah. So it's pretty good, a good move, I think. And, they got to go find a quarterback.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure. With 25 years in the league, the last 6 with New Orleans, of all the cities represented in the NFL, hiring someone that either fits or knows the culture is probably no more important than any city other than New Orleans. This guy knows the culture, so that should ease the transition and maybe, depending on how horrible it would be if he didn't, give him a little bit of a buffer in case it takes him a while to build the offense back to where it needs to be.
Well, you don't want to bring in a new coach to New Orleans and the way these Saints fans dress.
Right.
Make scare the guy. And we take him a year just to adjust.
Just to adjust.
Oh, my goodness. So it's so funny. But you're correct, knowing the culture, knowing the city, and knowing the people. I mean, it's going to be a big advantage. But knowing the players, and now he got to hire someone to be the defensive coordinator, I presume. And, try to keep in place the things that they did, they're doing.
Right.
You don't want to start changing. Never bring in a guy who's going to revamp everything. So you can gradually add some things in, but don't take away what has been the foundation to their success.
Especially the things that aren't broken, like the defense.
Yes.
I mean, he's brought the defense back to the point now where longtime Saints fans think about the Dome Patrol. When Ricky Jackson and folks like that were prowling the gridiron. So he's already got the defensive end covered. And if he can just get a good quarterback under contract, I think we won't miss nearly as big a beat as many people think they could.
And the salary cap is a big issue also.
Oh, that's huge.
It's huge because you can't go sign free agency.
No.
So you got to sign middle of the pack type free agent. And then you got to do it through the draft.
Yeah, and maybe, additionally, find some folks that are willing for you to restructure their contract to free up some money so that we can get a guy in here that improves our overall chances of winning another ring.
That's why Mickey Loomis come in.
Mickey Loomis, that's right.
Yeah,
he's the master of that. He is the master of that. Let's shift gears again. LSU Gymnastics elevating their national ranking to number 5 in the country after beating number 6 Auburn. For that Auburn meet, Coach, 13,569 fans in attendance at the PMAC. Wow. 13.5 for gymnastics in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. What is that supposed to say to us?
Whatever you want it to. I mean, they love gymnastics. And it's a good gymnastic, a very good gymnastic team. So it's always good to see it. You know, that's something that not everybody have anymore.
Right.
It's a rarity. You know, the SEC schools have it, but
right.
I remember when gymnastic was a part of your physical education program. It's gone now.
Yep.
It's gone. I took gymnastic in college. I took it in college.
Go on out there, let me see your floor routine.
No floor routine. I did. It was part of what they taught at Southern.
But isn't that one of the wonderful things about the society in which we live? The atmosphere and attitude at a school like LSU, where you can take a program that, quite frankly, a lot of people may not even know exists, and put 13,569 people in the Maravich Assembly Center for gymnastics. You gotta love a situation where if you get the right person in the right place at the right time, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I see where a young lady from UCLA is coming in also. So that's good. When you have a good program, people want to be there.
That's right. That's right. It is one of those success stories, and I hope this year will be the year where it will finally come to fruition. Whenever it happens, y'all remember where you heard it first. Be sure to give Dee Dee Bro the credit that she deserves.
Yes.
Because all of this, that 13,569 fans, that is a direct result of her perseverance over all those years playing second fiddle to everything else in LSU athletics.
And having a great personality.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not forget that. That was 40 years of great personality.
Anytime you sit down and talk with her, if you don't come away recognizing how wonderful a person Dee Dee Bro is, that's on you, not on Dee Dee. Just saying. That's on you, my friends. Well, Coach, our time is up today, so we need to thank the good folks here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, for hosting it. We, of course, thank everybody in the truck, Alan, Katie, Jonathan, thank you much. Floor producer extraordinaire.
Really?
The guy with the hot thing. None other than our friend Marty. And, of course, the coach. I'm Clarence Buggs. We'll see you next week with yet another edition of the Roger Cador Show. Until then, go Tigers, go Jags.